Imagine waking up one day to find that your freedom to express yourself has been stripped away. This is the alarming reality that Billy Eichner warns us about in his thought-provoking commentary on Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. Eichner's message is clear. If it can happen to someone as influential and wealthy as Jimmy Kimmel, it can happen to anyone. The suspension of Jimmy Kimmel is not just an attack on his personal freedom, but an assault on the fundamental rights of every American, regardless of their party affiliation or voting history. This is a wake-up call for all of us to recognize the importance of speaking out against the erosion of our civil liberties. But here's where it gets controversial. Eichner argues that the conversation around freedom of speech is often centered around famous individuals, making it easy for those in power to dismiss it as a coastal elite issue. However, he emphasizes that this is not just about Hollywood or the media. It's about the everyday American who wants to live their life without fear of persecution or censorship. The issue at hand is not just about what you can or cannot say on TV or online, but about the very fabric of our society. It's about the ability to think, express, and live freely without the looming threat of governmental or corporate control. And this is the part most people miss. The fact that the suppression of free speech is often a gradual process, one that starts with small, seemingly insignificant incidents, but ultimately leads to a culture of fear and intimidation. Eichner's concern is that if we don't speak out against these attacks on our freedom, we risk losing the very essence of what makes America great. The example of Jimmy Kimmel's suspension is just the tip of the iceberg. We're already seeing the normalization of censorship, with the FCC and corporations like Nexstar exerting pressure on media outlets to conform to their agendas. But what's even more disturbing is the fact that this is not just about politics. It's about the manipulation of our national conversation. By controlling the narrative, those in power can distract us from the real issues at hand, like the psychotic birthday note Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein. It's a clever tactic, one that's designed to keep us in the dark and prevent us from speaking out against injustice. So what can we do about it? Eichner's message is clear. We must speak up passionately and ethically against the erosion of our civil liberties. We must recognize that every voice counts, regardless of whether you're a celebrity or an average American. The power of numbers is on our side, and if we don't use it, we risk losing the freedom to express ourselves, to think and to live our lives as we see fit. This is not just a warning. It's a call to action. We must not let the bullies win, whether they're in the form of politicians, corporations, or special interest groups. We must stand up for what we believe in, even if it means going against the status quo. The question is, will you speak out or will you remain silent? The choice is yours, but remember, the consequences of inaction will be dire. As Eichner so eloquently puts it, if you think that it's worth it to just give Trump and Carr this temporary win, and that this will mean that they'll get off your backs, you're wrong. The time to act is now before it's too late. So, let's make our voices heard. Let's stand up for our freedom, and let's ensure that the America we know and love remains a beacon of hope and liberty for generations to come.